Diplomats came from across the galaxy, until Earth's Colossus-Class ship took the stage. The stars above Aerith Prime glowed like silver threads scattered across a dark cloth. The orbit around the artificial planet was crowded with ships of all shapes and sizes, floating in silent formation. Each vessel was a symbol of a great civilization, a reminder that humanity was not the only intelligent life in the galaxy. Humans were newcomers, small in number and far behind in technology. Yet, here they were, about to step into a council hall where decisions could change the course of their future. Inside one of the smaller human vessels, Ambassador Daniel Brooks paced slowly. His dark hair was slightly unkempt, and his suit pressed but simple. He stopped near a window and looked at the alien ships surrounding them. "It's bigger than I expected," he muttered to himself. He could see ships shaped like spires, others like floating crystals, and even some that seemed to swim through the void as if they were alive. Captain Ethan Cole joined him quietly, his uniform neat and precise. "It's intimidating," Ethan said, "but we have to remember why we're here. We aren't just observers, we're diplomats, and our job is to talk, not fight." Daniel nodded, though his stomach twisted with nerves. "I know, but look at them. They've been meeting for centuries. We're just children stepping into a room full of giants." Commander Olivia Grant entered, carrying a tablet filled with data. "I've reviewed all the protocols. If we stay calm and respectful, we can make a good impression. The Council is curious about us, not just our technology." Her voice was steady, giving the room a sense of order. Lucas Hayes, the science liaison, peeked over her shoulder. "Curious isn't the word I'd use. Some of them are scared. The Varelians are already talking among themselves, whispering about us like we're a threat." Daniel rubbed his chin. "A threat? We've never even had interstellar war. We barely have colonies beyond our solar system." "Scary doesn't mean dangerous. They don't know much about us. But we do have one advantage. We survived. We've survived everything thrown at us on Earth, and we've built more in 100 years than some species have in 1,000. The small team fell silent, each lost in thought. Outside, the alien ships maintained their silent vigil. Every movement of a human crew member was being observed, every gesture analyzed. Daniel realized just how delicate this first meeting would be. One wrong word or action could make humans appear weak, or worse, provoke hostility. "Sir," Lucas said, breaking the quiet, "we're getting a message from the Concord Observer. They want to know our position. It's formal, but they're anxious. It seems the aliens are uneasy about something." Daniel straightened. "Reply that we are in orbit, ready to attend the council. No sudden moves." As the message went out, a large holographic display in the human vessel flickered to life. The images showed the council chamber of Aerith Prime, a vast domed city floating above the planet's surface. Hundreds of delegates from countless civilizations were already gathered. Some had multiple limbs, others had scales or translucent skin. The variety was staggering. Humans looked so ordinary in comparison, simple in shape and appearance. "Remember," Olivia said, "we are small in number, but we must be strong in our words and our logic. If we show fear, it will become our identity here." Daniel nodded and looked at each of his team members. "We show them who humanity is, not with weapons, not with force, but with ideas. Let them see that we belong here, even if we are young." The council hall was larger than any human building ever built. It floated above the surface, held aloft by powerful energy fields. The alien delegates moved in precise patterns, greeting one another with gestures Daniel did not understand. A few glanced at the human delegation with curiosity, others with suspicion. The Varelians were first to speak. They were tall, elegant, with multiple eyes that seemed to look into the soul. Matron Seralith, their leader, inclined her head slightly, but her eyes were sharp. "Humans," she said, her voice smooth but carrying authority. "You are young. You have not yet proven your wisdom. Why should the Concord trust you with a place among us?" Daniel stepped forward. "We have not had the time that many of you have, Matron Seralith. But humanity has survived floods, wars, and the collapse of nations. We adapt quickly, learn from mistakes, and work together to survive. That is the strength we offer." Some delegates murmured among themselves. The Korth Dominion, a militaristic species covered in chitin, shifted their armored plates. General Draxus, their leader, spoke next. "Survival is not enough. Strength comes from control and power. Humans, do you intend to claim what is not yours? Will you grow stronger by taking from others?" Ethan stepped beside Daniel, his tone calm. "Our goal is not to take. We seek knowledge, partnership, and peace. We want to belong without harming others. That is why we are here in person to discuss terms and treaties, rather than to fight." Lucas quietly scanned the room, noticing subtle movements. Some species leaned forward, interested. Others exchanged whispers that carried a hint of distrust. Daniel realized this was as much a test of patience and composure as it was of words. Hours passed. Each discussion revealed more about the galaxy's politics and fears. Humans were underestimated, dismissed as naive. Yet every time a question was asked about their technology or abilities, Daniel and his team answered calmly, without exaggeration. They revealed Earth's capabilities in space travel, energy management, and scientific research, but never enough to seem threatening. During a break, Olivia whispered to Daniel, "They're nervous. You can see it. Every time we answer clearly, they take a step back. They don't know what we're truly capable of." Daniel frowned. "We can't show everything, not yet. If they see all of it, they might act before we even finish our discussions." Lucas shook his head. "They're not just nervous. Some of them are scared." The Concord Observer mentioned a phrase in the last message, something called Colossus Protocol. It's classified, but whatever it is, they know it exists, and it makes some of them uneasy. Daniel's stomach tightened. Colossus Protocol. That's part of what we hoped never to reveal so early. It's a precaution, not a weapon, but they won't know that until it appears. The council reconvened. Debate grew heated. Some smaller species expressed fear that humanity would expand aggressively. Others praised human resilience and intelligence. Matron Seralith watched carefully, her gaze shifting between Daniel and Ethan. General Draxus continued to observe with suspicion, his armored form tense. Then, without warning, the Concord Observer's holographic transmission flickered and a calm voice echoed across the chamber. "Attention, delegates! An unidentified human vessel has entered orbit. Its mass exceeds any previously known human ship. All scanning systems report anomalies. Please stand by for further observation." A hush fell over the room. Delegates paused mid-conversation, eyes wide. The humans themselves turned toward the window of their small vessel, staring at the sensors. Daniel felt a cold shiver run down his spine. "They've seen it," he whispered. "They know something is out there. We knew this day would come. We prepared. The question is how they will react." The Varelians were first to move. Seralith's multiple eyes narrowed. "Explain immediately," she demanded. "What is this vessel?" Is it an act of aggression? Daniel held his ground. It is not. This vessel is a precaution. Humanity has built it to protect itself and others in times of great danger. It is not intended to threaten the Concord or its members. A murmur spread through the council. Some delegates leaned forward, curious. Others recoiled, fearful. Draxus shifted, antenna twitching. Precaution or not, such a vessel changes the balance. Humanity has shown it can conceal strength far beyond what we expected. Lucas whispered to Olivia. They can't even comprehend its scale. They have no idea what it can do. The hours became tense, each minute stretching like a year. Daniel and his team answered questions, deflected insinuations, and tried to maintain calm. But outside, the sensors continued to analyze the mysterious ship. It loomed silently, a shadow of unknown size, holding secrets the galaxy was not ready to understand. Even as debate continued, the human team felt a quiet pride. For centuries, humanity had been underestimated, dismissed as weak, and treated as insignificant. Now, every eye in the galaxy was on them. They had a chance to show that humans could survive, adapt, and, perhaps, command respect, not through aggression, but through presence and resolve. As the first part of the council drew to a close, Daniel looked at his team. Ethan, Olivia, and Lucas were tense but determined. The next stages of the meeting would be crucial. The mysterious vessel outside, known only to a few in the fleet command, would soon make its presence known. The galaxy was about to see humanity in a way it had never imagined. Daniel took a deep breath. "This is only the beginning," he said quietly. "We step forward, not to dominate, but to stand. And when the Colossus steps onto the stage, the galaxy will understand exactly who we are." Outside the window, the stars continued to shine. Among them, the distant glint of an enormous, hidden human vessel waited silently. It was a promise, a symbol, and a secret. The council had no idea how the story of humanity was about to change forever. The council hall was silent, except for the soft hum of energy fields holding the floating structure above Aerith Prime. Every delegate's eyes were fixed on the view screens, where the sensors showed the outline of the massive human vessel approaching the system. The readings were confusing and impossible by known standards. Ships this size did not exist in human history. Ambassador Daniel Brooks stood at the edge of the human delegation platform, his hands pressed together. Captain Ethan Cole stood beside him, calm but tense. Commander Olivia Grant watched the displays with narrowed eyes, reading every flicker of movement from the alien observers. Lucas Hayes was scanning the ship's telemetry in real time, confirming the anomalies the sensors reported. "They've detected it," Lucas whispered. "All of them, the Virelians, the Korth, even the smaller species. They are watching, and they don't know what to make of it." Ethan took a steady breath. "Good. Let them see humanity is not weak." But we don't make the first move. We let them react. Outside, the mysterious vessel glided closer, moving with impossible grace for its massive size. Sensors strained to record its mass, its energy signature, even its shape. It was enormous, far larger than any human ship ever built, far beyond the imagination of even the most advanced alien engineers. Inside the council chamber, Matron Seralith, the Virelian leader, spoke first. Her voice carried a sharp edge. "Humans, identify this vessel immediately." "What is its purpose? Are you declaring war?" Daniel took a step forward, projecting calm authority. "Matron Seralith, this vessel is not an act of war. It is a precaution. Humanity built it to protect itself and others from threats that we could not have predicted. We did not intend to alarm the Council, but it was necessary to bring it to your attention now." The room remained tense. Some delegates leaned forward, trying to understand. Others recoiled, whispering to one another in their own languages. General Draxes of the Korth Dominion spoke next. "Precaution? You bring a weapon the size of a planet city and call it a precaution? Humans, are you saying you can project this power anywhere in the galaxy?" Lucas stepped forward cautiously. "Not project, defend. Humanity has always defended its worlds. This vessel allows us to do so on a scale we could not before. We have no desire to attack the Concord, only to ensure survival in an uncertain galaxy." The aliens murmured, some clearly afraid. The smaller species exchanged worried glances. The humans in the chamber noticed the tension and realized how carefully they had to speak. One wrong word could trigger panic or aggression. Then the Concord observer's voice filled the room again. "Delegates, the human vessel continues to enter orbit. Visuals suggest structural features that defy current understanding of material science and engineering. Its energy fields appear layered and highly advanced. All scanning instruments are overwhelmed." Daniel's stomach tightened. He knew the ship was huge, but seeing it through the sensors from the Council's perspective made it even more real. The vessel's hull gleamed, layered in reflective armor that seemed alive, shimmering as it absorbed and refracted light from the nearby stars. Its shape was not just functional, it was elegant, almost artistic, despite its obvious power. Ethan said quietly, "This is it. The Council is about to see the truth." From the chamber's main screen, the first long-range visual images of the vessel appeared. Delegates gasped. Matron Cerilith's many eyes widened. General Draxus's antennae stiffened. Several smaller species seemed to shrink back in fear. "It is enormous," whispered one of the alien aides. "We've never seen anything like it. Its energy signature, it could destroy fleets." Olivia whispered to Daniel, "They are overestimating, or maybe underestimating. Either way, they are impressed and scared, just the way we need it." Daniel nodded. "Yes, but remember, this is not about scaring them. It's about showing restraint. We only reveal what we must." The vessel continued to glide into orbit, above Aerith Prime. As it reached the outer edge of the system, long panels and structures unfolded like metallic wings. Energy arrays powered on slowly, forming barriers and shields around the ship. Even without firing a weapon, the human vessel's presence altered the dynamics of the system. The alien delegates whispered urgently to one another. "Humans," Natron Cerilith said, her voice calm but firm. "Your vessel is a marvel, but it is also a threat. How can we trust you?" "Matron Cerilith, we understand your concern. We ask for trust, not obedience. Humanity has learned from centuries of conflict that peace without strength is dangerous. This vessel is a symbol of that lesson. We are prepared, yes, but we do not seek domination. We seek understanding and partnership." The Varelians did not respond immediately. General Draxus, however, leaned forward, his armored claws clicking against the desk. "You speak of peace, but your technology exceeds anything we have ever seen. Can we believe your words?" Lucas spoke, his voice calm and deliberate. "You must believe our actions. We do not attack. We do not interfere. This vessel exists to protect humanity and our allies. That is all." A younger delegate from the Ilyari Combine, a species of sleek silver-skinned beings, whispered nervously to her companion, "If humanity is willing to show this much power, What else are they hiding? What else can they do? Outside, the ship moved silently, waiting. The human crew on board had prepared every measure to remain controlled, but the sheer size and presence of the vessel made it impossible to ignore. Lieutenant Noah Carter and Tactical Officer Grace Mitchell monitored the energy arrays and shields, ready to respond if needed, but with no intention of firing. Every movement of the vessel was deliberate, calm, and restrained. Ethan turned to Daniel. This is the test. They are watching how we handle ourselves. They are watching how the ship behaves, not just what we say. Daniel nodded. And so far, we are passing. They are beginning to understand that we are disciplined. Then, a sudden alert came from the long-range sensors. Sir, multiple unknown vessels detected entering the system. They are not part of the Council. They are armed and moving toward the weaker diplomatic ships. Olivia's eyes widened. Pirates. They've timed it perfectly. They want to take advantage of the chaos. Ethan immediately took control. Lucas, coordinate with Tactical. Grace, prepare defense grid. Daniel, I need you to keep the Council calm. We do not want panic. The alien delegates watched in awe as the human vessel responded. Panels unfolded further, and energy fields powered on to form a defensive perimeter. Missiles and defensive drones deployed automatically, but only as a protective measure. No attack was initiated on the Council vessels. The pirate fleet moved aggressively, thinking the Council ships were easy prey. But as they approached the outer defenses, the human vessel systems detected them instantly. Precision strikes disabled engines and weapons without destroying the ships entirely. The pirates were stunned, realizing they were facing technology far beyond their understanding. Daniel spoke to the Council. Delegates, humanity does not strike first. We defend. Those vessels attacking the Council will be stopped, but only to protect the innocent. The Varelians, Korth, and smaller species all watched as the pirates were neutralized. Within minutes, the threat was gone. The human vessel had not fired a single weapon directly at the Council, only at the attackers. Matron Seralith's eyes narrowed. Then she inclined her head slowly. General Draxus remained tense but clearly impressed. Lucas whispered to Olivia, "They're realizing that our restraint is our strength. Not just the ship, but us as humans." Daniel finally exhaled. This is the message we needed to send. Power without cruelty. Strength without aggression. The Council paused, the delegates processing what had just happened. Fear had turned into respect. Curiosity had grown into cautious admiration. The humans had proven that their technology was real, their strategy effective, and their intentions clear. Ethan looked at Daniel. We've made them rethink everything they assumed about us. They thought humans were weak, unpredictable, and dangerous. Now they know we are all three, but controlled, disciplined, and capable. Daniel nodded. And this is only the beginning. Once they understand that, we can talk about treaties, partnerships, and a place in the galaxy. Outside, the human vessel powered down the active defense systems. Its presence remained overwhelming, but its posture was calm and peaceful. It was a silent reminder that humanity could protect itself and others, but did not seek to conquer. Lucas looked at the readings one last time. "Sir, the vessel has already left a mark. Every delegate system shows traces of its energy signature. They cannot unsee it, and they cannot ignore it." Exactly. We wanted them to notice, and they have. Now the real discussions can begin. The Council slowly returned to its deliberations, but the tone had changed. Nervous whispers turned into careful consideration. Delegates consulted each other quietly, reevaluating humanity's role and potential. The human team remained composed, understanding that this was only the first step in a much larger challenge. Daniel finally allowed himself a small smile. We've survived the first wave. The next stage will test diplomacy, intelligence, and patience. But at least now we have their attention and their respect. Ethan placed a hand on Daniel's shoulder, and when the Colossus truly takes the stage, they will understand that humanity is not just surviving. We are prepared for anything. Above Aerith Prime, the enormous vessel drifted silently. Its presence was undeniable. Its power was obvious. And though it had not fired a single shot at the Council, it had already changed the course of interstellar politics. The galaxy had seen humanity's true potential, and it would not forget it. The moment had come. Horizon's Spear, the enormous human vessel, moved fully into orbit above Aerith Prime. From a council chamber, the delegates could see it now, fully revealed. Its size was impossible to comprehend. Even the largest alien ships seemed tiny beside it. It was a city in space, layered with shields and panels that gleamed in the light of the nearby star. Every feature of the vessel showed design and strength, a mixture of purpose and elegance. Ambassador Daniel Brooks stood at the edge of the delegation platform, his hands folded calmly. Captain Ethan Cole and Commander Olivia Grant were at his side, keeping their focus on the Council's reactions. Lucas Hayes monitored the energy fields and shields from his station, tracking every subtle movement of the ship. The Varelian matron Seralith leaned forward, her multiple eyes narrowing. "Humans," she said, her voice measured but firm. "Your vessel is immense. I have seen many ships in my life, but nothing like this. Explain yourself immediately." Daniel raised his hand slightly, a gesture of calm authority. "Matron Seralith, this vessel is called Horizon Spear. It is designed to protect humanity and our allies, not to attack. Its size and power are necessary for defense in a galaxy filled with threats. We did not bring it here to intimidate, but to ensure that our people and your delegates remain safe." Whispers spread across the council chamber. Some smaller species leaned back in awe. General Draxus of the Court Dominion tilted his head, studying the ship. "Your words may claim defense," he said, "but this vessel alone could crush fleets without effort. How can we be sure your intentions are peaceful?" Ethan stepped forward, calm and confident. "General Draxus, we understand your concern. We have demonstrated restraint already. When rogue pirates entered the system earlier, Horizon's Spear neutralized them with precision, protecting the Council without causing unnecessary destruction. We act only to defend, never to attack first." The smaller delegates whispered to each other. Some seemed relieved, while others remained skeptical. The sheer scale of the vessel left no room for doubt about human capability, yet its careful actions proved discipline and control. Lucas Hayes spoke, projecting his voice clearly into the council. "The vessel is fully capable of extraordinary force, yes, but it is not a weapon of domination. It is a symbol of humanity's responsibility. Every system aboard Horizon Spear is monitored and controlled to prevent misuse. We show strength, but we act wisely." Matron Seralith's gaze softened slightly. "And yet, humans? This demonstration alone changes the balance of power in the system. Many species will fear or envy you now. How will you manage that?" Daniel nodded slowly. "We cannot control every reaction, Matron Seralith, but we can act consistently. Horizon Spear will remain in orbit, defensive in posture, until it is clear that our presence promotes stability rather than conflict. Our actions will speak louder than our size. A younger Ilyari representative, silver-skinned and elegant, spoke hesitantly. I have studied younger species rise in strength. Many grow arrogant, thinking their power allows them to dominate. Humans, will you remain disciplined as you expand? Discipline is built into our systems and our society. Horizon's spear is part of that discipline. It is a tool, not a toy. Our leaders understand the responsibility of power, and we intend to act carefully, guided by reason and purpose. Daniel added, we have learned from our history, violence without thought brings disaster. Power without restraint invites chaos. Horizon's spear represents the lesson humanity has learned, that strength must be paired with wisdom. Outside, the massive vessel adjusted its orbit, its shields shimmering as it absorbed the light of the nearby star. Fighter drones rested in their bays, visible but inactive. Energy arrays hummed softly, demonstrating readiness but not aggression. The sight alone was awe-inspiring. Ethan spoke quietly to Daniel. Look at them. Every species is observing every detail. The Varelians, the Korth, even the smaller delegates. They are recalculating everything they assumed about humanity. Daniel nodded. Exactly. This is why restraint is more powerful than aggression. They see capability but not arrogance. They see strength but not cruelty. Then, an alert came from the long-range sensors. Sir, unknown vessels detected moving in from deep space. They are armed and heading toward the Council's weaker ships. Likely opportunists taking advantage of the display of human power. Olivia's eyes widened. Pirates. They are trying to strike while everyone is distracted. Ethan's expression remained calm. This is another test. Prepare the ship's defenses. But remember, no aggression beyond necessity. We neutralize threats, not punish the galaxy. Lucas Hayes coordinated with Lieutenant Noah Carter and Tactical Officer Grace Mitchell. The defense grids deployed with silent precision. Shield arrays expanded to cover the Council vessels, forming a protective barrier. Fighter drones moved into patrol patterns, scanning for targets. The pirates moved confidently, thinking the Council ships were vulnerable, but Horizon's spear was ready. The first pirate vessel approached a small diplomatic ship. Instantly, the human ship's targeting systems locked onto the aggressor, disabling engines and weapons without destroying the ship entirely. Another pirate vessel was caught in an energy net, immobilized before it could fire. Within minutes, all threats were neutralized. The alien delegates watched in astonishment. Not a single Council vessel was harmed, not a single life lost. The humans had acted decisively, yet with restraint. The room was filled with whispers of disbelief and awe. Matron Serolith leaned forward. Humans, your restraint is remarkable. You wield power without cruelty. You act decisively, yet protect life. Few species could achieve this. General Draxus's armored plates shifted. We have misjudged you. Your vessel, your discipline, your strategy, it is unlike anything we expected. Humans, your species is young, but your actions speak of wisdom beyond your years. Daniel stepped forward. We do not ask for praise. We only ask for understanding. Humanity has learned that power must be guided by reason and compassion. Horizon's spear is an extension of that lesson. Its presence is a promise, not a threat. Their fear and suspicion slowly turned to respect. Some whispered among themselves, expressing admiration for the humans' discipline and control. Even the Varelians, known for their careful calculation, seemed impressed. Ethan turned to Daniel. We've passed the first test. They've seen what we can do, and they've seen how we act. The next challenge will be diplomacy, but this foundation of trust is already set. Daniel allowed himself a small smile. Yes, now they know humanity can be a reliable partner. Our strength is clear, our restraint is clear, and our intentions are clear. Clear Castle, the Council, the Council. The Council reconvened. Daniel addressed the delegates. Delegates of the Concord, humanity has shown that power without thought is dangerous, but power with discipline is reliable. We seek not dominance, but cooperation. We wish to belong among you, to share knowledge, to protect life, and to act responsibly. Matron Seralith inclined her head slowly. Your words match your actions, humans. You have shown capability and restraint. That is rare among younger species. The Council will take your offer into consideration, and your presence will be evaluated as a member of the Concord. General Draxus added, Your restraint in using Horizon's spear has proven your discipline. The Court will observe closely, but we recognize that humanity has potential as a reliable ally rather than a threat. Lucas whispered to Olivia, The data shows every delegate is logging this. They cannot ignore what they have witnessed. Humanity's position has shifted dramatically in their perception.
Olivia nodded.
Exactly. The combination of restraint, strength, and wisdom is unforgettable. They will remember this display for decades. Outside, Horizon's spear lowered some of its defensive arrays, signaling peaceful intent. Its massive silhouette still dominated the sky, but it radiated calm authority rather than aggression. The humans on board remained vigilant, prepared for any unexpected threats, but their posture was defensive. Daniel spoke quietly to his team. This is the moment where perception becomes reality. They have seen the best of humanity, strength controlled by wisdom, courage guided by responsibility. That is how we earn trust. Ethan placed a hand on Daniel's shoulder. And when the Council sees that we continue to act consistently, humanity will not only be respected, but valued as an ally. This is the turning point. Lucas smiled faintly. Every species in the Council will record this. They will analyze it, discuss it, and adjust their strategies. Humans have changed the game without firing a single shot at their delegates. Olivia added, Strength shown responsibly is the most persuasive message of all. Horizon's spear is proof of that. The galaxy will remember. Daniel looked out at the vessel. Horizon's spear was more than a ship. It was a symbol, a guardian, and a promise. It represented humanity's potential, discipline, and responsibility. It was a message to the galaxy that humans could be trusted, respected, and relied upon. As the Council session ended for the day, the human team remained calm. They had faced fear, skepticism, and doubt, and emerged with respect. The galaxy had begun to see humanity in a new light. Horizon's spear remained above Aerith Prime, silent and imposing, a testament to the lesson humanity had learned. Power without wisdom is dangerous, but power with discipline is a promise of hope. Daniel turned to his team. The stage is set. Horizon's spear has taken its place. Now it is up to us to continue acting wisely, consistently, and responsibly. The galaxy is watching, and we will not disappoint. Ethan nodded. We are ready. The next steps will be diplomacy, alliances, and proving ourselves over time. But today we have made our presence undeniable. They know humanity exists, and they cannot ignore us. Lucas looked at the starry sky outside, and they will remember this day. The day humanity revealed its true strength, restraint, and intelligence. The galaxy will never forget Horizon's spear. Olivia added, And as long as we remain disciplined, we will earn our place among the stars, not through fear, but through respect, action, and responsibility. This is just the beginning." Daniel nodded, watching the enormous vessel hover silently. The beginning indeed. The first step is complete. The galaxy has seen what we are capable of. The rest is up to us to prove day by day with wisdom and honor. Outside, Horizon's spear remained in calm orbit. Its presence was undeniable, but peaceful. The ship had spoken without words, acted without aggression, and earned attention without threat. Humanity had taken its stage in the galaxy, and the story of their rise had only just begun. The council hall was quiet. The delegates had finished the formal discussions and now whispered among themselves. Outside, the enormous human vessel Horizon's spear hovered silently above Aerith Prime. Its presence was still powerful, but the humans had kept it calm and non-threatening. The alien leaders had begun to understand that the ship was not a weapon to conquer, but a protector. Ambassador Daniel Brooks stood at the edge of the human delegation platform, watching the delegates. Captain Ethan Cole and Commander Olivia Grant stood beside him, both alert but relieved. Lucas Hayes checked the ship's long-range systems remotely, making sure the vessel remained in full readiness. "Daniel," Olivia said softly, "look at them." The Varelians, the Korth, even the smaller species, they are no longer afraid in the same way. They are thinking differently now. Daniel nodded. Yes, they have realized that strength does not always mean aggression. They have seen restraint, precision, and responsibility. How? That is humanity's true message. Matron Seralith of the Varelians spoke first. Her many eyes focused on the human ambassador. "Your vessel? It is unlike anything we have seen. And yet, you did not use it to threaten us. You demonstrated power without cruelty. That is rare among the younger species." Daniel bowed slightly. "Matron Seralith, humanity has learned that violence without purpose only leads to destruction. We aim to protect, not conquer. That is why Horizon Spear exists. Not to dominate, but to ensure survival and stability." General Draxus of the Korth Dominion shifted in his seat, his armored plates clinking. "You humans are unpredictable. Your vessel is vast. Your technology advanced beyond our calculations, and yet your actions are careful and disciplined. How can we trust that you will not misuse this power?" Ethan stepped forward. "Trust is built through action, General Draxus. You have witnessed what we can do, and how we act. The next steps are yours, to observe. If we were aggressive, the pirates in the system would have been destroyed without hesitation. Instead, we protected the council ships while sparing life. That is how you can judge humanity." Some smaller delegates whispered among themselves. The young Ilyari representative spoke up. "I have seen many species rise quickly in power and fall just as fast. Humans are new, but their discipline surprises me. I believe they can be reliable allies if handled carefully." Lucas Hayes stepped beside Daniel. "Sir, sensors show that all the Council ships have now logged the vessel's energy signatures and structural data. Every delegate knows what Horizon Spear represents. We've left a mark that cannot be ignored." Daniel nodded. "Good. That means we have their attention. Now we need to ensure that their respect grows into cooperation. The Council can no longer treat humanity as weak." Outside, Horizon's spear remained in orbit. Its massive size and layered shields reflected the light of the nearby stars. Fighter drones rested in their bays while energy arrays hummed softly, a quiet signal of readiness rather than aggression. The humans on board had every system prepared, but they had not fired a shot at the council. Olivia spoke quietly. We've shown them strength. Now we need to show them wisdom. That is the next challenge. Technology alone does not earn trust. Actions do. Daniel agreed. Exactly. Strength without wisdom is dangerous. Strength with wisdom inspires respect. In the council hall, Matron Seralith leaned forward. Ambassador Brooks, humanity has shown restraint, courage, and intelligence. We will propose that you be granted formal recognition in the Concord as a member species. But this is only the beginning. You must demonstrate consistency over time. Do not disappoint us. Daniel bowed. We will not. Humanity seeks only to belong and to contribute to the galaxy's safety and knowledge. We will act in good faith, General Draxus added. Your ship is a warning to any who would threaten peace, but it also shows that humans can act with honor. The Concord has underestimated you for too long. That will change. Lucas whispered to Olivia, "This is unprecedented. I have never seen a species so young gain respect so quickly. They've witnessed restraint and intelligence together. That combination is rare." Olivia nodded. And it's exactly why Horizon Spear exists. Not to destroy, but to ensure humans are taken seriously. Daniel turned to the council. We also wish to offer our assistance. Humanity has experience in survival, adaptation, and defense. If the Concord accepts, we are ready to contribute to research, diplomacy, and security. Several delegates nodded, intrigued by the offer. The Varelians and Korth exchanged glances, clearly calculating the value of an ally who combined strength with discipline. Then, a young Korth officer spoke, her voice hesitant but firm. Humans, we have underestimated your species. Your vessel's presence changes everything. But how can we be sure you will continue this path of restraint? The galaxy is filled with danger, and many younger species are tempted to misuse power. Ethan stepped forward. We cannot force trust, but we can show it. Horizon's spear is capable of overwhelming force, but we use it only to defend, never to attack. Every action we take will be deliberate, calculated, and aimed at preserving life. Daniel added, History will judge humanity as it judges every species. We have chosen a path of careful responsibility. We will not betray that choice. The council seemed to consider this. Whispers turned into discussion. Some smaller species expressed relief at humanity's discipline. Others admitted surprise at how effective humans had been without aggression. Even the Korth, known for their militaristic culture, nodded in cautious acknowledgement. Outside, Horizon Spear lowered some of its defense arrays, signaling peaceful intent. Its massive silhouette still dominated the sky, but it now radiated calm authority rather than threat. The humans on board remained vigilant, prepared for any danger, but the posture was clearly defensive. Daniel took a deep breath. This is what we wanted. Not fear, not domination, but understanding. The Council has seen the truth. They now know that humanity is strong, disciplined, and capable of responsible action. Olivia added, and that understanding will be the foundation for cooperation. The Council must see us as allies, not threats. Lucas smiled faintly. They've seen what restraint looks like on a scale they've never imagined. That will stay with them longer than any weapon demonstration ever could. As the Council prepared to vote on recognition and membership, Daniel addressed the delegates once more. We come in peace, with strength. We ask only to belong, to learn, and to contribute. Humanity will act with honor and intelligence in all matters. Matron Seralith inclined her head. Then it is agreed. Humanity shall be granted provisional membership in the Concord. You will be observed, and your actions will determine your standing in the future. But this is a promising beginning. General Draxus added, "Your path will be watched carefully. Misuse of your capabilities will not be tolerated, but if your actions continue as they have, humanity will become a respected member of the interstellar community." The Council voted unanimously. The decision was not just a recognition of human potential, but also a promise of cooperation. Humanity had earned its place, not through intimidation, but through restraint, discipline, and intelligence. Daniel allowed himself a small smile. We did it. The first step is complete. But we must continue to act wisely. Trust is earned over time, not in a single day. Ethan placed a hand on Daniel's shoulder, and we have set the tone. The galaxy now knows that humanity can wield great power responsibly. That is more important than any single victory. Outside, Horizon's spear remained in orbit, calm but ready. Its massive presence was a symbol of what humanity had become, capable, disciplined, and prepared to act for the good of all. It was a promise to the galaxy, not a threat. Lucas watched the sensor readings one last time. Every species in the Council has logged this, every calculation, every energy signature, every observation. They cannot unsee it. Humanity's presence is now permanent in the minds of the Concord. Olivia nodded. Exactly. And when they look at the stars, they will remember that humans do not act without purpose. We are strong, yes, but careful. Brave, yes, but wise. Daniel turned to look at his team, proud. Horizon Spear is not just a ship. It is a symbol. A reminder of what humans can do when united. The galaxy has seen it, and they cannot forget it. Our story has only just begun, but the first chapter has been written. As the Council dispersed, the human delegation remained calm. The decisions made today would influence centuries of galactic relations. Humanity had shown it was ready to take its place among the stars, not through conquest, but through courage, wisdom, and the quiet power of restraint. The enormous ship hovered above Aerith Prime, silent and imposing. It had changed the balance of power without firing a shot. It had altered perceptions, inspired respect, and demonstrated the value of controlled strength. Horizon's spear was more than a vessel. It was a message, a guardian, and a promise. And as the humans looked out at the stars, they knew this was only the beginning. The galaxy had accepted them, cautiously but sincerely, and the future now held endless possibilities. Humanity had stepped onto the stage of the stars, and nothing would ever be the same.